because, the cuteness. Kitty cam. It's like Thor chilling out there, enjoying the loads of snow that are here in Nashville. But I digress. Anyway, so anyway, just wanted to give you some updates on what's going on. And this is no longer a kitty cam, so I'm going to turn that off. But I just wanted to give you some updates about what's coming in February. There's going to be a lot of things coming at you, and I wanted to make sure you weren't confused by the things that were coming at you. So feel free if you have any questions while I'm doing this live. Go for it. This is very impromptu, so don't feel bad if you're catching this after the fact or anything like that. I just wanted to get this out to to a bunch of channels all at once because yeah, that's how I roll. So anyway, there's a couple things going on. I actually had a wonderful weekend. I was attending a virtual conference on virtual conferences, and it was exactly what I needed to get into. This is something that I've been wanting to do a lot of for the last almost 2 years, is to embrace more virtual events, not just in-person events. And don't get me wrong, personal events like in-person events, conferences, things like that are my jam. Absolutely, that they are where I thrive. Getting in front of people and not only speaking on stage, but also those kind of back room or backstage, not backstage sometimes, but those interactions that happen like in the hallways and things like that. Those are where I really have the most fun and get to enjoy meeting people and form relationships. So those are really important to me. So this method of doing virtual events that is put on by the Sage Events team, same team that's kind of transformed the way that virtual events are done for people like Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone and Stu McLaren and Russell Brunson, and I could keep going, but you get the point. That team has put together the tools and the stuff that I need to be able to do that stuff. Whether that's scale or not, I don't know. We'll see. And that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about today, is the fact that we are going to be expanding what we're doing as far as outreach to all of you in various different ways. And so I wanted to explain what I'm going to be doing in February to get this all kicked off, and kind of explain where things are heading in my life in general as far as that goes. So, as you may or may not be aware, my name is DJ Eshelman, and I have been an IT consultant for the last about 20 years or so. And I have been working on some products and services around that so that I can kind of pass on what I know about being an IT consultant to the next generation, and to inspire the ones that are coming up behind me, that sort of thing. And I'm feeling more like I've gotten that mission accomplished than I ever have before. With 2 books published, some courses that are already out there, some courses that are coming out that I'm really excited about. The time to produce more content is starting to drop a little bit as far as what's required to keep that rolling, and we're getting into a season of more, you could say, promotion, but it's more about just informing more people about its existence. And so that really is going to become the focus for that side of my business. But it also means that something that I've been dreaming about for a long time is finally coming to fruition as well, which is to start equipping people to do what I have done over the last, especially the last 10 years, which is to be an entrepreneur. In other words, you're working for yourself, setting your own terms. Whether that means you're, subcontracting for another company or doing various things like that. We're going to be talking all about the various methods you can be doing that, and some options for you. And so I feel that that message is important enough to put out on multiple channels. And so you're going to see a lot of that coming up for me in February and hopefully beyond, is those messages. And so you'll see that referred to in one of a couple ways. The first is what I'm calling the Newpreneurs Club. Newpreneurs are for people that are new to being an entrepreneur or are taking on a new entrepreneurial venture that they haven't before. Now, this doesn't matter if you're full time or part time. These messages are for you if you are thinking about either starting a part time business or want to basically work to transition from what you're doing full time into something new full time that you're setting your own terms on. And so that is what that club is all about. And club is kind of just because it sounded fun, and also because I think the domain name was available. So that's what Newpreneurs Club is going to be. My intention is to go live every week, once a week, with that topic. And so that'll actually be starting today at 10:30 Eastern time. I'll be going live with the Newpreneur Club. Number one topic is start with why. Actually, we're going to start right out of the gate talking about money. So that's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure. But that's the Newpreneurs Club. The second live weekly live is going to be the Squirrelpreneur uh, society, I guess I'm calling it. I'm not really sure what to call it. I actually thought about calling it the Anti-Squirrelpreneur League. A squirrelpreneur is somebody who, like me, has been going from venture to venture trying to find out what fits, but gets really distracted and doesn't complete the one they're doing and working on, and they go on to something else. And so, what my hope is to counteract a lot of the misconceptions about some of the marketing for a lot of these programs that are out there. In 2020, we saw a dramatic increase in the number of programs being offered for people. And while it's kind of ironic to start a program that's like an anti-program, what I actually view this as a helping you choose the right thing and stick to it. And so the squirrelpreneur concept is to try and prevent people from that by confronting these things directly, telling each other stories, and getting past that in a meaningful way. Counting, I want to see accountability out there. I want to see some people coming together to say, you know what, it's okay to just do this one thing because I'm in this for the long haul. And if I'm not in this for the long haul, I'm going to be distracted by all the other things. In 2021, I'm predicting that we are going to see at least a doubling of the number of programs that are available for newer entrepreneurs, and it's going to get really, really messy out there. I'm hoping to prevent a lot of discouraged people this year, and so that is my sole purpose with the Squirrelpreneur um, uh, hour, or I don't know what are we gonna call it. It kind of depends on how long we're gonna go. The Newpreneur talk, that's something that I want to keep under 10 minutes, just a quick, digestible kind of a thing. Squirrelpreneur might be a quick story. It might be something that's a longer. My intention here is to have guests on and make this into a podcast as well. Actually, I think I'll probably make all of these into podcast episodes because, why not? So that's what's coming for that. On Wednesdays, at least for now, my intent is to have a specific focus on Christian entrepreneurs, which is I know it's a risk sometimes to be specific, but that is something that I'm very passionate about. There's some very specific messages for people that are Christians and running their own businesses. And so every Wednesday, my intention is to go live and not only address those things with a topic, but have a forum where we can have more discussions and things like that. And so, got to start somewhere. We're going to start with live broadcasts to a lot of different places. We're not going to be broadcasting that to as many places. We're probably going to be starting more private groups to facilitate discussions around those and that sort of thing. But for now, it'll be a wider thing, and people can participate via chat for the time being. So watch for that. This week's broadcast is going to be Wednesday at noon Central Time. I've blocked off an hour. We'll see how long we go. I don't intend to always be that long with that, but that one is called the 11 Talent Tips. And we're probably going to start off by explaining more about what 11 talents means, and kind of an approach about this week's focus, just if you're curious, is about money. And so we're going to be focusing in on that a little bit. But the 11 talents concepts actually comes from the uh, the Christian Bible and the parable of the talents, and something I observed about that over a year ago that is finally coming to fruition as far as a mission for me. So that is going to be happening on Wednesdays. So if that describes you, if you are a Christian entrepreneur, I definitely want you to tune into that to get some specific guidance and some specific inspiration around that end of things. For those of you in the IT field, we are continuing Thrivecast on Thursdays. We have this month some really exciting guests. Not all of them have signed the disclosure statements, so I can't say who they are yet, but that is coming. And so February and probably into March, we're going to have some really exciting things on Thrivecast that are, I believe, going to really start to inspire you to do more than just be an IT worker, but to become a person in IT and to bring out your talents and abilities in fresh new ways. And so that is my hope for the stories that we tell with Thrivecast. And so if you're in the IT market, that is still going on. Obviously, that's our biggest channel right now. That's been a lot of fun, and so we are, yeah, yeah, continuing that season for February, and who knows things keep going well, maybe into March. But we're kind of just seeing how this goes and how much fun we're having. We've been doing this for it'll be a year in April of going live every single week, and so at some point we're thinking about taking a little bit of a break. So we're going to see when that is. But given the guests we have coming up, who knows? This might be way too exciting to shut down completely right away. So we'll see what that what happens with that. But that will be broadcast on YouTube, Twitch, uh, Periscope for until the end of March. I think is when Periscope gets shut down, and of course Facebook as well. So watch for us there. And then on Friday the 5th, I'm going to be hosting office hours for this week is going to be for Thrive IT, for the IT community, for Thrive IT, for the Just Do This book, for the Citrix Hero book, for those communities that are associated with that. So basically anything IT related that I have my hands in right now, uh, that's going to be there. I'm trying to get a special guest to come with us to talk about a specific course that is coming up. It's in beta right now for some of the Citrix ADC technologies, some of the networking technology. And so, if that is something that interests you, make sure you register for that. And I forgot to put a link to that in the description. I'll try and get that after the fact, or so watch for that. If you're on our email list, you'll see the announcement about the office hours coming up Friday at 11 o'clock Central Time. And so that is what's going on. My intention is every Friday to have some form of office hours. And if you don't know, office hours are a time where it'll just be on like Zoom or something like that. I might rebroadcast that. I now have the technology to be able to do that. Like this is going to multiple places at once. We have uh, people viewing in on let's see, we got people on Facebook right now, YouTube, one on Twitch. That's very cool. And looks like somebody just joined us on, is that the end of it is cut off here. I can't tell if it's at YouTube or if that's Facebook. I'm sorry. But anyway, that's where we're, sorry. It's actually Twitter on Periscope. Cool. So I think I need to do my names better because they're not showing up on the icons on my screen here. So sorry about that. But anyway, that's where we're at. So every week the intention is to have a actual Zoom meeting so you can come be in that meeting face to face with me and spend some time with me, ask your questions and that sort of thing. So obviously we have a lot of different topics they formulate and that sort of thing. Also doing February, and this is exclusive to those of you in the 48 Days Eagles community, which is Dan Miller's private community, that I can get you a link to join if you're interested. Let me know. That's a group of various levels of dabblers and people that want to um, embrace a work that they love, whether that is as an employer or as a employee or as an entrepreneur, whatever. That's Dan Miller's mission and something I have been very supportive of. But during the month of February, I am going to be hosting what's called a Thriving Artists Eagles Nest, which is a small group of uh, folks within that community. It's like a sub community within a sub community within a sub community, I think you could say. But those people are going to be with me, and that's going to be kind of an office hours kind of a thing every week, more of like a mastermind than office hours, I would say. So that is coming up, and yeah, there's other stuff too. And I have a shocking announcement to make. I know for those of you that know me well, this is going to come as a gut wrenching shock and both of these things I say are going to be very, very shocking. So please take a moment to center yourself, sit in your chair or stand with your legs a little bit, in a stance that is going to be able to handle this. Okay. All right. I purchased an Apple product. That's right. I actually own an iPad. Shocking. I know. I have a lot of reasons for this, but a big one is that um, I wanted this to be something where I had more methods to communicate with you and more things to be able to do that with. There's a lot of programs that are pretty much exclusive to iOS right now that the development is either stopped or not even started yet for other devices, and so it was time. And so I now own an iPad Pro. I know, shocking. I know people are probably picking themselves on the floor, but it gets even worse. I am on Clubhouse. Yeah, that thing I said I wasn't interested in joining. Um, some of the friends that I have are more convincing than others, but they convinced me in the right kind of ways. Initially, when I heard about Clubhouse, it was very much, "Oh, you should be on this. You're gonna miss out if you don't. You're missing out." And I hate that. Hate that. I The reason I'm starting the Squirrelpreneur talks, the whole reason I'm doing that on every Tuesday is because I really don't like people focusing on FOMO or fear of missing out. It really bothers me to my core, and it's something that I'm very vulnerable to, and so that's why in fact, I think either this week or next week we're going to talk about how this all relates to cryptocurrency, for example, and how that's been affecting me over the last few weeks. And I'm always like watching that like a hawk, and I shouldn't be, because there's better things to do with my time, right? Well, that's what fear of missing out does, is it causes us to kind of make bad judgments, or just judgments that are not quite focused on the right kind of things. And so, anyway, that all aside, when my friend and coach Cliff Ravenscraft took some time to explain to me why, and didn't just shy away from the fact that I like very much stiff-handed him when it came to um, why you will be on Clubhouse. He explained to me how he is using it to reach out to people and serve them, and connect with people on a much more meaningful level than I thought was going to be possible with this. Um, then I got really excited about it, and so my goal is to spend. I do hear it's a really big time sink, and so I haven't spent a lot of time on it so far, but I do intend to have like a timer and only spend about an hour a day on the app at the most. But my intention for this first few weeks is to kind of soak it in a little bit, get used to the culture, and then start participating more and more. So that is something to look forward to. But I thought I would give you those double shocks of, you know, bought an Apple product with my own money and and now on Clubhouse. So I will see you out there. Actually, I will see you in about a half an hour for those of you joining me for Newpreneurs Talk at 10:30. If at any point you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out. I'm one of the most reachable people on the planet. So feel free to do so. I will talk to you all very soon. And I will leave you once again, if I can switch over to it, with Kitty Cam. Wouldn't life be just nice if it could just be like this all the time? Ah. Enjoy the day, enjoy the snow if you're in that sort of space. We'll see how long this lasts as far as being on the ground here in the Nashville area. but I know that my kitty will enjoy the entire time. So there you go. Have a great day and see you out there this week, folks. Looking forward to it.